if you look at all the Sturgis fights and stuff and all the gang-related fights, 90% of them are white people unless it's against the Mongols, who allow like Mexicans and different groups, but and blacks, but I mean a lot of them are
isn't it mostly stabbings and that's the difference. It's mostly fist fights and stabbings. That's the difference with biker gangs, right?
They do have there was a big ass gun battle, and stabbing. They've had them in Vegas, they've had them in Texas. They shoot each other. Yeah, they're literally trying to kill each other. And the name Crank is actually the name Crank is methamphetamine that's been stored in the crankshaft of the bikers. Like that's what they do. They'll put it in there. They'll seal it up, the methamphetamine, and then open the crankshaft like the crankcase of their fucking engine, and put that meth in there, and they can run it across the country, and it'll still survive. And that's where the name Crank came from. And that's what they really run is methamphetamine and probably fentanyl now. And yeah, they play for keeps, dude. They're dangerous. Like a lot of these people. And yeah, meth. The Galloping Goose. They're like a 1%er gang that is pretty dangerous, man. They're small, but the smaller ones tend to be hyper violent. They're almost like the cartel of America, to be honest.
Ain't nobody scared of bikers but bikers. Other bikers. Stop it.
Really? You've never walked into a bar and seen 100 bikers take over that bar? You're like, holy shit.
I'm quite sure if you get caught in some hick town somewhere, you know what I mean? Yeah. But come on now. I don't know one person in this city that's scared of no goddamn old ass bikers on a fucking bicycle.
I mean, you have to go out of your way to fuck with them for them to do anything. But these are people that are if you think about like criminal gangs, like at least for white people, pretty much mostly what there is, it's going to be biker clubs, and these are guys who are in and out of prison. They have weapons on them. They're just a whole different. But for the most part, they're not going to go out of the way to fuck with other people either. So. But I mean, you saw like what happened in Waco, Texas. Like when shit happens, they all start brawling, stabbing each other, shooting each other. Like that's what they do. Yeah. And black people should learn something. They ended up rounding up like 200 people, and like the charges against nearly all of them got dropped because all of them refused to snitch and they all refused to testify.
And they complied.
Yep. Oh, and the reason the cops didn't shoot them, they complied.
Get the fuck out of here with that.
No, but that's true. I mean, there's discipline.
A kid just got murdered. A kid just got murdered again in a car. The sheriff looked in the car, saw him and shot him and killed him. He complied. The rest of his friends ran off. They didn't get caught and they didn't get shot.
Oh God, is that the one where the guy pointing the gun at the cop? That one? That story?
No, I'm not talking about. It's another story that just happened actually, which is crazy because this kid actually stayed. He didn't run and got killed.
Okay, so you found one?
Found one, bro. You know this shit been happening, man. What are you talking about? Found one.
Matt.
How normal? You should come up because I think you're somebody who could. I want to ask you a question.
I do too when you're done.
So abnormal. So there was these outlaw motorcycle club members, and they were at their bar drinking, having a good time, and this big old black man, ended up ordering drinks, refused to pay his tab, and so after asking him many times, please pay your tab, he didn't pay it, and so they beat him up a little bit and called him the N-word and stuff, and I want these nice gentlemen, I want to, if there's any legal troubles, and I also don't want them to get canceled, I want to set up a GoFundMe. Do you think you'd donate?
Listen, I understand you're doing white supremacist performance art, but please, I'm not a part of the performance, Pepe.
Can I ask you normal? Some big cat like a month ago was claiming you had cancer. I hope that's not true, dude. And if you do, I hope you're okay and stuff. Hope everyone's doing well. That's
Baruch
none of my
Hashem.
business, though.
Baruch Hashem. I have not, God has not given me that affliction.
All right, good. Okay.
El Normo, what do you think
Thank
about
God.
what do you think about El Pepe's room? I mean, is this kind of what Lonzo does, but another aspect of hate speech?
To be honest, Lonzo's much worse.
Everybody knows that Pepe is just doing performance art, he's kidding. But Lonzo, I think, really believes this shit.
Now, Norma, are there any Jewish biker gangs?
Yeah,
I think that was like those Jewish biker gangs. There are.
Yeah, sure there are. I've ridden with Sonny Bar. I have to go and look it up. I forget. But I've ridden with Sonny Barger of the Hells Angels, and I celebrated his birthday with him, and I did a piece about him.
He used to live right
What
near me.
screwed up about the Hells Angels, what did them the worst was they had like really convincing cops that were, infiltrating the Hells Angels and were able to do real damage to that group. Like 2 or 3 times, I think.
I think it's happened to all of the big clubs.
Yeah, probably. Yeah.
But
I sort of watched this documentary with this.
near me in what do you call it, Cave Creek, Arizona.
Yeah, I've been there. That's where Sonny lived.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I was there at his house, and I rode with him on his 66th birthday.
So did you go to did you go to any of the bars or anything there in Cave Creek?
Yeah,
we
did a what do you call it? We did like the bar crawl.
Yeah, because they have like Arizona Bike Week and everybody goes through there.
Yeah.
Hell, normal bar crawls with the Hell Angels. I've heard it all
That's
now.
correct.
There's a whole lot of people that do it. There's like most of the bikers are not like 1% clubs, or even in a club, but there's gonna be some that are. It's kind of like Sturgis.
I was gonna say, Sturgis, is there always like violence there, or are they pretty well contained there? I didn't check
They're pretty contained because they're not allowed to wear colors anymore. They're like patches, I guess, in a lot of places. And it used to happen regularly. Like when my mom was pregnant with my sister, there was a shooting in Sturgis, like in the 80s and 87. And it was really close by her and stuff. And that was commonplace, but they've got it pretty heavy now and kind of like an agreement that they're not allowed to wear certain patches and like colors, I guess. And even though it is crazy though, because like I worked for Michael Ballard for the Full Throttle for 2 seasons. I just got lucky. I went over there and asked the lady when they were recruiting if they had any room, and I became a bar back the first, like the first season and the second season. I worked in the liquor room, Michael Ballard, and they were, telling me all about it and stuff. And like, it's just crazy because you'll see, a bunch of different biker gangs that, are in the same vicinity, that normally hate each other, but they kind of have an agreement to chill out there, because they're so heavy with police. It's just crazy.
I'm not gonna lie, I'd rather be in a biker gang than like the Crips.
Yeah, absolutely.
Hey,
Oh my God, Matt. Have you ever heard of Cook's Corner?
yeah,
Right. I'd rather be in Cook's Corner than in fucking Long Beach.
there we go. You got it.
Well, I really what's cool about the bikers, bro, is that they're like the last free people in a way because they very cheap, to run across the country. You're kind of running under the radar, but like that you're official. They know the police know you're a gang, but you still try to operate under the radar. It's just kind of weird, like it's
They don't
and the camaraderie.
the cops kind of let you do what you want to do, where, if you're in the Crips, they're looking.
Here's a list of stuff your car insurance company does, but is actually illegal. Number 1,
they do the whole business they do to you.
But Matt,
Well, they'll do giant charity events like the Hells Angels and
would you tell
they'll
I
do
told you I
giant
came out of
charity
prison
events for
to
children
make
and
things
for
right with you.
different things that
Keep it going.
like literally they'll
You just tell us what all the
like
chances we would
Robin
take.
Hood, they're
Yeah, we did. We
they'll
knew the chances we would
it's
take.
not what they do. Have you ever seen that show? They'll do giant charity drives and charity events and Santa Claus when there's no open source.
I did give you 20. You ever heard of a guy named Ben? I give you 20.
Yeah, that's kind of what they do to try to act official, but at the same time they got people running drones and definitely getting murdered.
Too much that drum rock up?
bad areas.
Well, I'm telling you right now, Ernest,
We're always,
you can't handle it in prison, boy. You're better off telling them what you know for your sake, for your family's sake. For your pleasure. You know something? He's as dumb as a washboard. You know that? Yeah, he the one yapping first chance to get on. Like, he was supposed to be partners, and it ain't my fault that you. It ain't my fault that you got caught with the car, you dumbbell. Call me a goddamn partner. You didn't give me shit. Hale's got a whole plan. Now I'm gonna talk to him, make sure you ain't a part of it, because you're sick of thick in the head. He always said he was thick in the head, you know that? This is the plan. I'm sitting here because of his plan.
Exactly.
Ernest, you're a good man, aren't you? Yes, sir, I am.
Look, have you ever seen smash and grabs done by white people?
You suppose so, are you, aren't you?
Never.
I am, sure. I am. You love your wife and children?
Why don't we see that? That's a good point.
Yes, sir. You served your country in infantry, and I don't think this tag life was meant to turn out. Hey, look.
Because they didn't invest net so heavily, I would never invest in countries. Because anything deal with net typically doesn't have a problem with
I obviously had no interest in ever joining one.
Pepe's
Been a motorcycle.
Pepe's gonna join. He's gonna break out his pink Harley. Pepe's gonna bring out his pink Harley like Tamara the Real Housewives.
Clubhouse hate speech rooms are the new biker gang, and Pepe is the leader of a biker gang here in the social audio app.
What up, Craig?
Wait, what do you have in Arizona right now, Pepe? Who's the biggest?
It's a Hell's Angels state. That's where Sonny Barker lived.
Is that right? Okay.
The Hells Angels don't fuck with nobody though. You have to go out of your way to fuck with them. For them to fuck with you, they cool. You know what I'm saying?
Pepe, the biggest gang next to you are Mormon housewives. I'm just letting you know.
We do have a lot of those here.
Exactly. Can we shout out to Mormon housewives as like the hottest women in America?
There's a lot of Mormon women are pretty good.
What do you think, they go to the gym every day and like sit out at the beach and suntan?
They definitely go to the gym.
They're like, so Mormons are like really big into like being healthy, and you have to understand, like, they don't drink, they don't smoke, they don't do any of that shit that like, I guess will make you like age poorly. So they tend to be, it's been my experience, because of like how their clean lifestyle, they tend to look pretty good.
They're not sex TL. They have no sex appeal.
No, all of them look like Ann with a fat ass.
Oh, you don't think Anne has a fat ass?
She's got that Irish flat butt.
She's got a moon, what do you call it? Pancake butt. Nothing there.
Ann got a big old diaper Lebanese booty.
Have you ever had sex with one?
You're gonna get her mad when you come up here, though. Be careful.
With Ann? No. Ann, that would be incest.
Dr. Adams, you would never go in a biker bar, drink a ton of vodka, come on Clown House, start screaming at people, then get in an actual fight with a bunch of bikers.
Yo. Like I said, I brought up Cook's Corner. Like, y'all don't know how many times I've been in Cook's Corner and been sitting up on Clubhouse?
Yeah, I love Corner. You ever heard of it, Mom?
No, what is that?
You can't get it out.
That's when you go in the corner and start cooking.
I was here
Secret location.
from Zerira to this.
Oh, amazing.
Do you remember that scene in Pee Wee
What, in the
Herman's?
English second language, what the fuck was that?
He just came up to say, Frank was here from the to the sea.
What do you think about Pee Wee Herman's Big Adventure when he goes into that biker bar and then he does the the song and dance? Where was that a gay bikers bar? I can't remember.
What do you think about Pee Wee Herman's Big Adventure masturbating in a movie theater?
Well, there's a new HBO documentary coming out about Paul Rubens, and honestly, it's supposed to be amazing. I saw the preview; it looked really good because he was such a huge success, and that brought him down. But from he was so successful that it was basically his retirement.
I know the Pee Wee Herman song's playing in everyone's house. Yeah, that one.
Yeah, I haven't watched.
So is black fatigue a real thing, Pepe, or is it just like spam?
If you have to live around them, yeah.
Yeah, but I mean, there's obviously an index. There's a percentage of every group that you would prefer not to be around, but then there's a percentage of the group that you got no problems with.
I would say, I'd say in the online sphere, since the BLM bullshit, yeah, there's a lot of fucking black fatigue. It's kind of dying down. I mean, if we're being realistic, it's if you see you get. I feel like when white trash behaves differently from ghetto people, in a way.
You right about that?
I'd rather live next to white trash than ghetto people, in my personal.
Well, I feel like if you're gonna get,
me three.
if you get black, if you get ghetto black women, for example, they're the ones that are loud and obnoxious, get an attitude. Whereas white women, they kind of do the same thing, but they put their hands on their hips, and they'll just be a little belligerent, but they're just super passive aggressive and annoying. You want to punch them in the face too, but it's just white women. I don't know. What do white people do when they act like classless white trash?
They throw fists. I saw the cutest night drunk at the bar throwing fists because some guy gets in an Uber with some girl. I mean, young people when they're intoxicated, the whole problem is just intoxication. 99% of all these police domestic calls, it's always alcohol. Always.
Yeah, I'm not gonna lie. I was pretty hungover last today. Oh my god, I love white women.
Racist.
So Pepe, do you think there's a predisposition within the African American community, a predisposition towards violence, or is it just natural? If you go to the zoo and you see, Superior, a silverback with, his 10 female gorillas, and he's the physically dominant and most violent, but not the most playful, because I've witnessed and observed how animals are super playful, but then there is this alpha primate type of predisposition in the index.
I don't know. Gorillas are known to be a lot more gentle than chimpanzees, for example. A chimpanzee is way more likely to fucking kill you than a gorilla. But obviously, the gorilla is the way bigger species. I don't know. I don't have an answer.
I'm just saying it's like machismo or hormones. It's fuck around and find out, because from their perspective, I am the superior primate, and you're fucking with me. So now you're gonna find out. That's you don't see that in maybe other groups. I'm just saying there's a herd or a genetic slice of the pie that you fuck around, you find out with that pie.
Just spit it out, John. Just spit out what you want to say.
It's just there is a personality within every group where you can tell this is somebody I shouldn't fuck around with because they're itching to fight. You know, that's what I'm saying. You can see it. You know, they take their shirt off. They act a certain way. They carry themselves.
I have a question.
Wait, hold on, Adams. Hold on. What were you saying, Matt?
No, I was just gonna say we just said that there was white biker gangs itching to fight. I don't think there's any like thing right out the gate saying that a certain group's gonna fight. Just depends on what they're doing. Yeah.
Matt, how many fights and brawls do you hear coming out of Cook's Corner?
Yeah, no, I get that. You're right. You're right. I get it. Yeah. But I'm just pointing out, like, I mean, I know where John's going. I think we all know where John's going, but it's kind of like you gotta, regroup and really think about it a little bit better.
White people do not bang the same. Like, that's just what it is. Like, white people do not gang bang the same.
Like I said, for me, it's all context. And yeah, you're right. We all go about our different business. But if we want to, we will fight. You know what I mean? It just depends on what the context is.
So let's go to a different group that experiences gang activity in California. Shout out to the Vietnamese, right? Let's take a little trip over to Westminster. Do you see smash and grabs happening in Westminster, Matt?
No.
Right. So, do you see liquor store robberies, smash and grabs, and the different types of criminal activity that exists in the Black America? Do you see that happening in Westminster?
I mean, yes.
Garden Grove?
Thing is, though, that
Exactly.
you brought up the Vietnamese. They're
violent.
I was about to say they're probably more violent than especially in the 90s. They were a lot more violent than the black gangs.
No, but we're talking about today.
No,
You don't see
what are these
smash
areas
grabs.
like?
You don't see anybody hashtag trending Vietnamese fatigue. You don't see that.
No, you're right about that. We're just talking about Pepe. It's so funny you mentioned that. The Vietnamese back in the day were like one of the most violent groups. You know what I mean? But I don't know what happened. I mean,
There were a lot of them. So when they first came over here, they were basic refugees. So like the Laotians, Cambodians, and Vietnamese, and they came over here. They were like literal peasants that fled war. And they grew up really poor, and their gangs were they were just vicious. Even here in Phoenix, they were just known to, they killed each other a lot, but they were, other people tried to avoid them because they were a group that would just absolutely will not hesitate to kill you or kill people close to you if you fuck with them. And then the Hmongs were probably the worst. I don't know. I mean, they definitely were violent.
That wasn't my experience with the Vietnamese people. Like, I went to elementary school, private school, in, Garden Grove. I don't know if you guys are ever
private school. I mean, yeah.
Yeah, I went
many
to
gang members in private school.
do you mind me asking what year, basically, or because?
So in the 90s. So I believe when I finished like elementary school it was like 2000. So I mean, for me, growing up in Southern Orange County and going to private school in Garden Grove, I went to Christ Cathedral. I don't know if you guys have ever heard of Glory of Christmas. Like my school was actually pretty lit. We used to ride camels and fucking horses, like as a part of our curriculum. But it's one of those things where growing up.
Was it like driver's ed and sex ed on the same day?
No. So growing up in an area that is predominantly, well, at the time, before the Latinos came in, that was predominantly Vietnamese and Asian. I will say that in the 90s, in that specific area, it wasn't the Asian people causing the problem. It was actually Latinos.
Yeah, I remember that. I had both of those going on where I grew up. Like, we had a nasty Vietnamese gang. That's why when it was brought up, I'm like, oh yeah, I can totally relate to that. Because those guys were just, like, slaughtering people down in San Diego. So, and then, like, the Hispanic gangs were all over the place. So, I think both groups, at least in my era, were, like, going berserk.
Matt, do you think there's a lack of emotional intelligence? Is there a lack of emotional intelligence in these gang members, and is that why they have such a proclivity towards
Matt.
violence?
Matt, have you ever stole a candy bar?
Yeah.
How did it feel?
What the
Fuck,
fuck?
who steals a candy bar? Like, what the fuck? I had a credit card at like 11. Like, why would anybody steal a
I
fucking
did
candy bar?
when I was like in 14.
Look,
I
that's
did
whoever said why would anybody steal a candy bar? That's one privileged motherfucker.
I
Yeah. I would do it for fun when I was like 9 years old. Like,
Yeah, I gotta do that. I just feel like a little toy car here and there for whatever, you know.
You fucking bastard! I thought you were straight, man. Damn, bro.
You thought
Tell
it
me
was a
about
clean
criminality.
white man? You thought it was a clean white man?
Yeah, dude. What the hell?
Matt, let me tell you something. When I was in preschool, I went to preschool in Huntington Beach, and there was like a little girl that gave me something, and I held on to it, just being like an innocent 5-year-old. My mom noticed that shit in freaking Rancho Santa Margarita, drove back over to Huntington Beach to have me go return it. Like that's the type of values that I grew up with.
I had the same thing. I had to return it. And this, I'll be honest, that wasn't the first time I had done it before. And each time, you're right, Adams, we were disciplined, you know, in our family enough to go, you have to go return that. And by the way, it made all things better because I didn't get any trouble. The people that I returned it to were like, okay, well, there we go. Where if I was to run out of the store and put up a fight, then that's a whole different story. You know what I mean? Like, and I wouldn't have done that, by the way. I would have just given it back. But you know, we're in a different era now where people are stabbing the people that are stopping them from, like, you know,
No, we're definitely in a different era. Like my aunt, for example, my older cousins, they're now in their 40s. My aunt literally took my older cousin and had him put in the Moreno Valley jail. Okay, just to show him exactly what happens when you don't follow the law. He was literally like, this was like before I was born. Like he was literally like 10 years old, crying in the fucking Moreno Valley jail, right? Because my aunt took him down to the jail and wanted him to experience, like, it was like our own family's version of like Scared Straight.
I love that show, by the way.
You know, I don't
Yeah,
have so much.
my parents used to make me watch that shit.
I don't have so much black fatigue. I have more of clubhouse fatigue.
Yeah, but you're addicted, fool. So don't even act like that.
Aren't they one and the same, John? at this point?
No, because I mean, yes, there is Black Clubhouse, which is like 80% of Clubhouse, but I mean, that's like unlistenable because it's such a waste of time. And so,
But John, you curtail your own experience.
no, I go. No, that's not true. I have more profiles than anybody, and I go into more rooms
No,
than
but in
anybody.
real life, you cannot avoid black people. On this app, you can definitely avoid black people.
In the
You
real,
don't think we're exhausted with you?
you're exhausted with me. Is that what you're asking me? How did I exhaust you?
And you're in the black rooms quite often, and you come on stage and you say something goofy.
Look, I'm a comedian. What do you think comedians do?
But you haven't said anything funny yet.
It's just like your opinion that I'm not funny. I hear lots of laughs.
Really?
You're so delicate, Mon. You're just emotionally sensitive.
No, but John, she has a point. Like, you follow, like, British humor patterns. Like, nobody in the United States thinks that British humor is funny.
Well, I'm sorry that I'm not as a successful comedian as you would, prefer that I am. But I'm trying, and I'm just saying I'm fatigued.
Well, you should take a community, a community college course on comedy, and then come back to Clubhouse.
I think you're actually very funny. Last night was hilarious.
If you would do that, John, you would actually be more educated than the average black person on this app.
If I did a community college comedy course.
John is black and he's running for Congress.
See, that's comedy. That's what funny is, and unfortunately, and I know that there are so many crybaby people on here. If I were to declare that I'm black and I'm running for Congress, like, Thank you, Adams. I'm appointing you to my new campaign manager. I think your strategy could be effective in getting people to pay attention.
Don't encourage it. Don't.
I mean, Cory Booker is doing Heil Hitler's, doing, whatever that salute is called. I mean, did you see
Not
that
too
video?
much on Cory Booker. Not too much on Cory Booker.
He's fatigued.
That guy sucks.
Cory Booker can suck my.
Not too much on Cory Booker.
Nigga, hell Hitler.
What's
Yeah, bro, I think Kanye is taking too much nitrous. Too much nitrous.
That had to be like low key the dumbest song I've ever fucking heard.
That's kind of dumb. It is like, come on, rap actually, bro. Like,
So, have you ever heard of black people just getting a certain type of stage fright? When they reach a certain peak of success? Like, do you feel like that's what Kanye's experiencing?
no, I think that he really is so egotistical that he thinks he's the main character in the video game and he's wondering why things are fucking up for him.
So, is Kanye really
In
the
the
victim?
Matrix.
He bought a $60 million house, right? Ripped the shit down to studs, okay? And ended up selling it for $30 million. Is that the Jews to blame?
No, I really think he's taking too much nitrous.
No, I think that Kanye is taking too much Kanye. Like, for example, his mom wanted to go and get a bunch of plastic surgery, okay, at damn near 60 fucking years old, right? She ends up dying in post-acute care, and all of a sudden Kanye wants to blame the doctor.
Yeah, I mean that's
Were the Jews to blame for his mother's black plastic surgeon that took her off this earth? Are the Jews to blame there?
Dr. Adams, remember during Hurricane Katrina when that dumb motherfucker came out there with that white comedian and it was like, George Bush doesn't care about black people. Remember he said that shit? That's my first experience with Kanye, man. He's been nuts the whole
And
night.
I feel like George Bush should have had a better press secretary in saying that Kanye doesn't give a shit about black people.
Yeah,
Kanye
yeah,
continues to say that slavery was a choice. Kanye continues to, date, white Armenian women that were implants from Hillary Clinton and the Clintons. He said this, right? Kanye continues to, overcharge black people for cheap Chinese sneakers, right? That we know as Yeezys. So, I mean, where exactly is Kanye showing up for said black people?
Wait a minute. How do you know that Kanye said black people slavery was a choice?
Because he said it on live television.
And you was paying attention, right?
Again, paying attention is not a choice.
So I think he did what he wanted to do.
Right, and it had nothing to do with Jewish people.
No, just like Candace Owens going in on Jewish people too. She's throwing her career down the toilet doing that shit too, bro. I just think that it's not every fucking thing is because of the Jews. I'm just saying.
I mean, Jews.
I will say this: I haven't met a lot of.
Kanye had a net worth more than the
I've
average
not met
Jewish
a lot of
person.
pleasant Jewish
Yet
people.
he's complaining about the said average Jewish person.
Yeah, I don't know. Here are my thoughts. As far as the Jewish people, I've never met like an actual Jew probably in real life, but on here, 99% of them are unpleasant. I'm just gonna say. I mean, they just are. Like, and for the black people, 80%.
How are Jewish people unpleasant?
I don't know. Most of them are fucking.
You might be projecting, doctor.
Kind of a smart ass.
How exactly are Jewish people unpleasant?
Kind of egotistical, kind of smart asses, kind of. Listen, I'm pro-Jewish.
But you sound like you're describing black people.
80% of them are the same way. But I've met some really friendly, nice black people on here. But most of the Jewish people on here are fucking fighting, arguing. They're smart asses. We're talking about Steve, the atheist. We're talking about
Most of the Jewish people I've met on this app are very kind, very humble.
JB, the Guido.
kind,
We're talking
very humble.
about I can keep fucking going, dude, about the Jewish people in here. I like El Normo. He's probably the nicest Jewish person on here. Maybe John, but John can be a dick too. I mean, like, most of the Jewish people in here are edgy dickheads, be honest.
Okay, so let's wheel
We're
this
gonna
up.
name this room Sway John. It's no Jews backwards.
So I feel like, El Normal and Monica probably faced the most racism on this
Monica's
app.
Jewish. That explains it all. Thank you. Okay, so
Monica is not. Stop. Monica is not Jewish. Okay, I was just going over who experiences the most racism on this app. Okay, Monica, Pepe, and I would say that El Normo, and probably myself as well. I would even like to throw myself in here as well.
Five Adams by far, yeah, that's true.
I don't know, man. White people experience lots of racism because we just exist on here and they can get a pass. Well, that is what we do today. Don't let this crack out white pasty motherfucker in here. He's a racist. My lady, that's actually racist what you're saying. While you're calling me a racist, you're calling me cracker and pasty. I ain't racist. Like, bitch, do you hear yourself?
You just tell that fat black bitch to shut her fucking mouth.
Well, it was Sean. It was Sean. Dumb bitch. I gotta run to the weed shop. Give me 5.
What's up, Musanda?
Yeah, what's up? Not just thing with compost going, but like I was saying to Mr. Adams, who gives these blacks the power to insult all these white people? Somebody owns the media. Why aren't you so scared to mention it out?
Yes, it's a filthy fucking Jews. It's the Jews. Everybody knows it. I'm not afraid to say it. The Jews, when it comes to music,
What Jews is that?
Wait, Pepe, let me ask you a question.
Wait, hold on, let the guy finish.
Is Rupert
Oh
Murdoch
my
a
gosh,
Jew?
Adam.
No.
Oh, so now we're getting somewhere. Rupert Murdoch's not a Jew. Was Walt Disney a Jew?
No, but you have to look, if you go back to the 1970s, when it came just to, first of all, Hollywood was 100% Jewish in the 70s.
No, it was not.
Yes, it was.
No, it was not.
And then it was 70% of the traditional legacy news media, like the newspapers and so forth, was Jewish owned. So it was like,
No,
not
it
an
is
anti-Semitic
not.
trope. Yes, it was.
Pepe, according to who?
There was many sources. You can even like grok this fucking shit, in like it depends on which decade.
Right, so you're bringing up
In the 70s, it like really peaked.
Pepe, where was it like this is crazy. Pepe, like this is literally crazy.
It's not crazy.
What are you talking about?
Do you know who founded Hollywood?
Oh my god, this is good. Have you ever seen the movie Chinatown? Oh, huh?
What does that have to do with
It's with Jack Nicholson.
Exactly. So, John, have you seen that movie?
the Jews literally fucking founded Hollywood, dude.
Roman Polanski.
Yes, they did.
No, they did not.
Yes, they did. What the you talking about? Even up until like a couple decades ago, like all 8 major studios were owned by Jews.
The Italians.
No, they didn't.
Okay, all right.
They weren't owned by Jews. Like this is, like even up until a couple decades ago, all of the big 8 studios in Hollywood were owned by Jews. Like, and most, I don't even meet Jews who contend with that one. They literally were the pioneers and founders of Hollywood. It's not anti-Semitic.
Well, what's your point, Pepe? Did you like all the movies?
Some of them were okay.
What are you complaining about? You didn't even have to pay for any of it. You're complaining.
So he's trying to say that the Jews didn't like have control over the media, which extends into
Because they did.
record labels, music advertising, traditional news media. Yeah, they absolutely fucking dominated it.
They absolutely did not. Nice try, Diddy.
Can we get back to hating on whites and blacks? I prefer that.
Yes, thank you.
I'm just saying, I've never seen a white person come up to a black group of black people at a table in a restaurant on a nice patio and like throw shit at them and stab some shit in their purse, or it's like, why is it always black on white or black on black crime? Why isn't it ever white on black crime or white on yellow crime?
It actually happened to me in Tennessee when I was 10 years old. This fucking white cracker bitch came up to my family. Like, I was sitting with it was me, my dad, my little brother. She came up to me and she was like, I fucking hate you niggers. And she like threw a pancake on my face.
You should have punched her in the fucking crotch and said, I hate you.
Yeah, I should have stopped.
My dad pushed her, and then we all got free meals.
Oh, so that bitch, did you guys?
It's a happy ending.
Exactly.
Not in your favor. That's not a really.
Yeah, I've been called nigga twice in my life, and these are the two states. Once in Massachusetts and once in Nevada, and they were all driving, by the way.
Well, I stand corrected. I mean, that was a perfect example of white on black crime, and those are Karens.
Mm-hmm.
So I've only been called a nigger a handful of times in my life. Once was actually a clubhouse bat. Do you remember that? The white lesbian woman.
Come on, that don't count.
No. The white lesbian woman that called me nigger no less than 80 times on recording. She ended up going back to the 7-Eleven and burning the shit down. It's crazy.
I've only been called a nigger by Mexicans. When we first moved to California, going to school, and it was the Mexicans, and I would go home crying and tell my mother, and she said, just call them wetbacks, but I've never been called a nigger by anybody white.
Yeah, I've only been called a cracker in person maybe twice, and it was one surprising Hispanic blonde. It's kind of funny you mentioned that, and one black person. So there we go.
But it don't hit the same, right?
Oh, you know what? I take that back.
Yeah, but it hurt. It hurt me a little bit,
Do you
I
think
take
about
that back. We moved into an upper class white area when we first bought our house, because when I was being called a nigger, I was living in Whittier. Most people over there were Mexican, but we moved to Orange County in an upper class neighborhood, and one of the one park, and
That's upper class?
it was back then. Go on mute. Good God. Anyway, so when we moved in, one of the neighbors said to the other neighbors, "Did you know that we have some niggers on our street now?" So, but we had the happening house. We had the best house on the block. It was one of the magazines. I can't remember what magazine.
I'd be really mad if some moon crickets moved on my street too. I mean, to be fair.
I mean, my childhood home got sold on $1 million in Orange County. But I will say this, I remember.
It's all Asian now where I grew up. The whole entire neighborhood. They took the grocery stores, the routes, everything is
Fucking gooks.
all
My
Asian.
neighborhood is all Asian, it's all Persian, like it's crazy.
Yeah, but chinks are fucking annoying.
But my friends used to call my house the Persian palace.
Persians are tacky.
They are. You drive down the street and it's like single-story homes, but in the middle of the street, there's always some crazy-looking.
Persian palace.
Yes, and it just looks weird. And like, why would you put that house in the middle? They added on 100 times over, and now there's a big gate, and it looks tacky. It looks
Yeah, they're
retarded.
tacky as fucking
Sounds like
people.
home to me.
That's racist. I love Persian people. The women are beautiful. The food is amazing. The music is intoxicating. How dare you say Persians are tacky?
No, I love Persian palaces. It's a line. It's really crazy. I will never live in anything other than a Spanish Mediterranean.
A serious question: when this is pertaining to the white people, when you hear black people or Hispanics or party out group call you guys a cracker, does it actually offend you?
I mean, just like calling somebody any word, like if somebody was like, and it also depends, are they singling you out? Like, the context matters. Like if somebody, like I don't know, if you're like on a school project and you just so happen to be like the one white kid that's on it, somebody's like, oh, we have this cracker or something like that. Be like, it's not like you can help it that you were part of that group. But other than that, not really. I mean, it's just kind of like it's not much different from if somebody calls you like a fag or any other name.
They're not calling you cracker because they hate your skin complexion. They're probably calling you cracker because you did something to them. For example, if I get pulled over by police because I got a nice car, right? I'm like, this cracker motherfucker pulled me the fuck over for no fucking reason. That's a cracker, right? But I'm not saying it because he's white.
People don't pull people over for no reason.
I'm not sure if that makes any sense.
If I was a cop, I would pull over.
Well, I'm not saying it because he didn't do anything.
Police have to fill out, when they pull somebody over.
To his point, though, like,
Hey, bro, I've been.
to your point, Valencia, whatever your name is,
You know how to say Balenciaga. Stop playing.
Balenciaga, whatever.
Save the children. Save the children.
I don't give a damn. Arrest Balenciaga.
He doesn't give a damn about the children. Y'all are putting children in bondage.
Okay, I don't give a damn.
Adam,
Yeah, hold on.
please. Go ahead, Matt.
Every time I've ever been called a cracker is exactly what you're saying. It's kind of like out of anger. I'll give you that. It's not like it's like joking around or anything. So yeah, it does come with a little bit extra heat when they actually do it. So I think that's what you're getting at, right?
Yes, they're not just calling you cracker because your skin is, pale or whatever.
But that's like if it's like so that's where it's kind of like if somebody says cracker and there's already kind of like tension or like something's happened between like me and some like a non-white person, then the cracker thing doesn't like it's just like any I'm not even gonna really care.
Yeah, I mean, I treat it like that too, Pepe. But I do know that they're using it not as a like a joke. Like they're actually trying to get you off your game or whatever. You know what I mean? So yeah, I mean, I don't take it seriously like that, but
There's like people I
No, it's not just that. They call you cracker, they call you a patient, they call you a troglodyte, they call you, all sorts of fucking shit.
My favorite.
in real life, like it was you would get like the few
There you go.
you would get like the few
Police demon.
okay. You get the few like maybe Mexican people that they just did not like white people and it was well known or I can even think of like a couple of black people like because most black people if they like preferred because like when I was in high school and stuff people did stick with their own but they were always at least like cordial and friendly with each other but there's some that you knew they just did not fuck with white people and I just avoid them. I don't really care.
If you ever want to, clap back at a Mexican person that calls you a cracker, you say Selena was transgender. Selena is a transgender. That is John Leguizamo in a wig, right? So again, if you say that, I'm telling you, Latinos will get so pissed off, like it's like the second Mexican-American war.
Whites and Mexicans, when I was growing up, we all kind of made fun of each other though. It was never serious.
You were cut down.
Like we can call them beaners, we can do all kinds of things, in a joking way. They didn't really care.
Oh my God, it's even more fun when you can speak Spanish.
I can't think of a better time to bring up a personal matter that I've been thinking about.
Are you getting deported?
Well, maybe we'll see about that. Maybe I'll get deported somewhere that's reasonable.
Matt, are you going back to Africa?
Oh my God, let him get his point out.
FBA, maybe FBA officially at some point here. No. This is a serious matter. So, where is the line of derogatory terms does the other N-word land in? Do you know what the other N-word is?
What is the other N-word?
Let me think about it a little bit more. Keep thinking.
About the N-word.
There's another N-word.
Nepotism.
No, that's another one.
No, I feel like that's more insulting when people call me a
How about the Negro term? Because I am gonna make a transition into something right now.
Negro.
I prefer Negro.
So where is that in the hierarchy of the other N word? Where is that like a second place? How close are we to that word?
Well, there's a couple different N-word variations, and in terms of the hierarchy of hate, the hard R is definitely at the far end of the spectrum. Now
I agree
the
to that.
now the grow, I would put it in the far left category next to the C word, which you can think about that. I don't want to say these types of terminology, but you bring up an index of hate speech, and I think it's an important topic.
I mean, well, it used to be Negro was like the
My little pumpkin is here.
black people call themselves.
Oh, my little pumpkin. Oh, pumpkin.
No, nigga is
Oh,
cool.
my little
That's hip hop.
pumpkin.
My nigga. That's cool.
You grotty little wanker, how are
You were in a gang, my little pumpkin?
That's my question because
Yes.
I was looking up.
Oh, you badass. I always knew you were in a gang. What was it, some kind of Muslim biker gang?
I was in on a college
No,
campus.
when I was younger, I was in a gang. Yeah, when I was a teenager, but
You were a shot collar.
It wasn't offensive. I just understood.
no.
that,
Well, I would tell you, but you're fucking recording me.
You know what I'm saying?
So I do. You keep accusing me of doing what I'm doing. You know what I'm doing, so just stop accusing me. Just go with the flow. Be a part of the problem, not a part of, not any kind of problem.
Because I've heard him multiple times on stage say the N word. You guys give him a pass?
I need to go.
I wouldn't get offended off no shit like that. You gotta ask somebody else. That's stupid to me.
Yeah.
If I see a white person rehearsing a rap song that got nigga in it, I'm not standing around mad as hell because they said it. You know what I'm saying? So you gotta ask somebody else.
Well, there's lots of black people out here get offended that that a guy, that white people have said the N word, but not the hard R, just that word. They get all mad about it. Bro.
It depends on what group of black people you're talking to. You're talking
Exactly. Them self-conscious.
Hypocritical black people.
If you're talking like liberal leftists, and yeah, like they get offended for anything. But
People don't even know what their one stands on. They just fucking have emotions, bro. This woman doesn't even know what she stands on.
for the most part,
Do you feel like black people complain too much about racism?
Adams, love you, Adams, but.
Wait, hold on. What color are you? What color are you?
Finish what he's saying, Adams. Who was that speaking? That was you.
yeah, Adams, wait.
All right, what were you saying?
But yeah, we can for the most part we can tell the difference between people who are being assholes and who are just trying to attune themselves with hip hop culture. They may not be saying nigga like to be.
If you like sweet.
They just thought it was cool. So most of us can tell.
Or some of them grew up in that type of environment too, though. You gotta include that too. There are some white people like considered white trash that grew up in inner cities and shit, and that was part of their lingo.
But aren't they if you grew up around black people in I don't know, the projects, and I'm guessing they kind of treat you like maybe, I don't know, they think of you as kind of like one of the.
Which is weird to me because you admit that a white guy from the projects is white trash, but what are black people from the projects? They're not.
They just use the term ghetto.
What is
They
that?
just use the term ghetto.
Oh, we already have names for us. Trust me.
Yeah, but you guys embrace that shit. So
No, they call it. They say trailer rats. You know what I mean? All of that shit. I mean.
Well, I'm saying is you guys embrace the horror culture, the hooker culture, like Cardi B and the fucking Sexy Red, all this gangster bullshit. But you admit that white people from that same fucking area are white trash and all down. What the fuck? I don't get it. Like, you guys admitting that you're trash and you embrace that culture, that's fucked up to me. It's crazy.
I don't know what he just said, but.
Wait. Cardi B is from New
I don't know
York.
what he's talking about.
So do you want to tell me that white people in New York are white trash?
Yeah, I think Cardi B is trash.
Okay, you didn't answer my question.
No, what I'm saying is someone that is considered from the ghetto of the project, but they're white, they're considered white trash. Then what are black people from that same area? They're not considered trash.
So
I'm saying is, Dr. Adams, listen to what I'm saying.
No,
The
but
white people that are from the hood, that guy just said back there, Valencia guy.
no
He
such
said,
Yeah,
white.
but
Damn, Valencia.
yeah, there fucking is.
There's no such
Yeah, there is, bro.
Nowhere.
yeah, I think there was, especially like Boston when I
Yeah, there
when I
is.
was a kid, there was white hoods, but they were called
There is white.
They were called derogatory terms like townies, Southies. Like they were seen as like being
That's racist.
low class white trash
That
compared
is
to.
racist.
Okay, hold on. But they did have but it is correct that generally poor white people are going to be more on the far ends of suburbs or in rural areas, and blacks that are poor are more likely to be inner city. Not always. There's a lot of them in the south that are rural too.
Right, not always.
But calling people hood rats, ghetto, project hoes, like whatever, like they do have like the same link. They do call them names based on how some of them might behave and because they're poor. And you see some people embrace it in the black community, just like you see, like, there's people that are like proud to be rednecks and all of that shit. So I don't know.
So let me ask you a question, Pepe. Do you feel like, had black people understood the message behind white flight and not have followed white people out to suburbia, do you feel like black fatigue would be a thing today?
Well, I think people still are separated based on class, where a lot of the black behavior is going to kind of, low class black people are not going to really be around, upper class people or even upper class blacks, but
that's again.
But I think it's more like when you hear black fatigue, it's more in the it's more having to do with like having to deal with them in public, like when you're at a store or that kind of shit.
And that's my whole point. Had black people not have followed white people out to suburbia, white people would have been left in peace.
Oh my goodness.
No, but it's true. It's true.
Hey, look, if y'all wouldn't have bombed Tulsa, Oklahoma, we would have been left in peace, goddammit, because we had our own stores, shopping malls, hospitals, and some more shit.
We was kangs. No, but Matt, do you not hear?
Yeah, I hear that Black Wall Street shit. I don't know.
Matt, do you not hear where I'm coming from with this? If black people did not follow white people out from Los Angeles out to, Valencia and the Santa Clarita Valley and Moreno Valley to Riverside, Rancho Cucamonga, do you think that, the race relations would be a little bit different in America had black people not followed white people in their white flight? I mean, it's crazy to me. These same black people want to get so far away from white people, yet you keep following these said white people into suburbia. It's crazy. It's happening all over.
Stay away from white people. What are you talking about?
No. The safest place that I can live in is in a Jewish neighborhood. Thank you very much. Okay, black people moving closer to white people has nothing to do with safety.
Wait a minute. White people are moving closer to black people. Do you know what gentrification is?
No.
Do you know that a lot of white people are moving to the city?
No.
Do you know they're moving to the city all over the country?
That's false. So even if you look at a place like Compton, California, for example, that was primarily a Jewish neighborhood, an Ashkenazi neighborhood, white people. So again, white people left in a certain amount of time, and black people came in, tore up the whole fucking neighborhood, right? They tore that motherfucker up. We all saw that straight out of Compton. So again, I go back to my point. Maybe race relations would be a little bit better in America if black people would stop trying to follow white people. tear this shit up. White people were taking our our raisin potato salad, and we're leaving, right? They went out to suburbia, and black people followed us. So again, at the end of the day, okay, you cannot sit up here and say that the racial tension in America is solely predicated on the activities of white people. Black people have to follow. Like, what are y'all talking about?
Well, who created the system?
Black people.
Stop being so truthful, Dr. Adams. You're hurting people's ears and feelings, bro. They can't hear the truth.
You guys are so damn stupid. No, he's not. He's stupid. He doesn't know the history
Shut up, you
of
camel
racism in
humping,
America. Shut the
eyeliner
fuck up.
wearing,
Who owns
sissy, shut the
racism?
fuck up.
You own
Shut
racism.
the fuck up.
Codified laws.
You are a no sodomizing queer.
So bad.
You are
Still didn't get
no
a
sodomizing queer. Be quiet.
You
Be
saw me.
quiet.
You cock
Be
up your ass.
quiet. Be quiet. Petting zoo.
So fucking
Petting zoo voyeur. You're a petting zoo voyeur.
Shut up. You want to cook for white people so bad. White people are always racist, have always been racist, and there are the reason why there is systemic institutional oppression against.
So why are you fucking white men on OnlyFans?
Shut up.
Why?
Shut up, you dusty
Fucking
ass
white men on
bitch. You're a
OnlyFans.
fucking gay ass
Sophie, you
raggedy
don't think
bitch
you know who
that
you
will
are?
never get a white
We
cock,
don't
even
think
if
that
you
you
cook
know who
for
you
them.
are.
Shut up. If you want to be a slave master, bitch, you're a slave. Remember that.
Petting zoo
Remember that, bitch. It is all white people's fault, and I'll say it with my chest. It's all y'all's fault.
Jesus, that's a cognitive distortion disorder. That's an all or nothing thinking statement. That is so sick. You need help. You need therapy. You're ridiculous.
Free India for these dirty petting zoo warrior ass.
Pumpkin spice, my love. My little English rose. My beautiful little pumpkin.
Okay, so I painted a picture, I'm going to send it to you while listening to Stantor music. And I think it influenced because I ended up painting a Mithra. Look at your computer.
I don't know which one you're talking about. I've got so many accounts, my little pumpkin.
Bitch, shut the fuck up.
What do you mean this message in here? In this phone you gave me?
They have more intelligence than yours, dumbass.
I'm busy right now, my little pumpkin.
Oh, well, that's fucking out of order, mate. Right, I'm gonna go then if you're not giving me the attention I need.
Anyways, it is white people.
I'm gonna send Sophie a
Bye.
camp, right? For his pork chewing petting zoo.
You're so damn stupid.
Ass,
No Christians are
dirty
Christians.
Islamic,
The people who practice Christianity completely don't report. Dumb bitch, shut the fuck up. Swine. You're a fucking swine. You're a fucking swine.
Islamic
You wanna eat animals that eat its own shit, dumb bitch.
You
You're
lost your
ugly
virginity
bitch.
to a hoofed animal. Like, what the fuck are you talking about? The fuck are you talking about? We all know how you get down. If you don't get it from the front, then it's not considered losing your virginity. You dirty fucking petting zoo animal.
Matt probably sucks your cock at night. That's why he's like, expressing himself here. You dirty ass cocksucker.
That is my cousin. That would be incest. We don't get down like you dirty,
You guys are ancestral.
dirty
Sweet
ass
home Alabama,
fucking
bitch.
Islamist.
Easy.
Sweet home Alabama. Anyway,
Don't bring me up in your conversation.
shut up, bitch, and don't
You
comment.
dirty ass.
That
Either
is
Bryce
Y'all go to a family reunion.
You trick
Y'all
Riley
go
like a
to
good
a
little
family
girl, then I won't
reunion and
hurt you
swipe
like
left
that.
and swipe right. Like a fucking
Okay.
Exactly. You inbred fucking dirty.
Anyway,
petting
yeah,
zoo ass swine.
400.
Shut up.
You were absolutely
Shut
correct.
up,
There are
Sophie.
all
You
these
wear
idiots
fucking
that have
makeup.
no lives and
You
no
wear
jobs
fucking
and
makeup.
are
You're a
raggedy
whole
on here
fucking
on this
drag
app,
queen.
sitting here,
You're a whole
sitting in
drag
their
queen.
mom's
In your
basement,
shitty ass
talking about
university, getting called out on fucking YouTube. Exactly, Sophie. You want to talk about that?
bitch. So
You wanna
I
talk about
I
that?
got called out.
You,
So
you
what
went
the
to a
fuck?
shitty ass school.
I
Like,
did
what are you
something,
talking
bitch.
about?
I'm about it in real life. I will literally clock
You went to a shitty ass university. You're a dumb,
You talk on
petting zoo humping monkey. Thank you.
You're a cat.
Thank you. You're a dumb petting zoo humping monkey.
You can't
Thank you.
touch me, bitch. I will literally come roll up and beat your ass,
What are you
bitch.
gonna do? What are you gonna do?
Fuck you.
What are you gonna do? Your student visa is gonna allow you to just to pull up and pop smoke? Like, what are you doing?
Shut the fuck up.
What are you doing?
I'm not an immigrant.
What are
I'm
you
not
doing?
an
what's going on? I'm just hanging in here. What's up, Pepe? Man, my homegirl, mine. Adam's my nephew. You know I love ya. Fuck off. Miss Joe B, just going through the list. Yeah, what's going on with you? And the rest of you guys I have now met you. But hey, yo.
JT, have you seen that video up top?
No, I'm gonna sit here and watch it. Okay, just give me a couple seconds.
I mean, they went a little overboard. Little. Brady, come you. Make another beer in your mouth. Okay. Yeah, I mean, they kind of went overboard a little bit. I mean, they could tell, pay the tab, but to jump them, I don't know. I'm not there yet, but yeah.
Just a little, I mean, yeah, probably not the.
But Pepe, he probably did have some more for the video was biased. No self-control probably. There's that element too. We don't, we didn't pick up on the video, but.
I mean, if you had like an outlaw motorcycle club surrounding you, telling you to pay your tab, I mean, I just think you're retarded. You're just gonna.
I mean, you can't say black people anyway.
Who is this stupid person that was going at it with Adams? I don't know if they're a girl or a guy.
He wears makeup.
You must be in the hallway, bitch.
Yeah, they have an Adams apple. We don't deal with those type here.
He's got a purse and a pants full of nuts. There you go.
Yeah, I'm not big into the unibrows. We gotta go.
Adams, where do you get your energy from, Adams? That's what I want to know. What do you think is responsible for the powerhouse of a personality that is Dr. Adams?
I go to the gym 6 days a week.
So you're saying going to the gym actually makes one more effervescent, healthy, gives you energy. And so do you think a lot of the people on this app...
When you like looking at yourself in the mirror, right, it invokes a certain different level of confidence than a lot of these wide back, big back ass, pimple face fucking losers on this app.
So maybe what I'm suggesting is we have fatigue with those who are too fat to even get to the gym. I mean, I heard yesterday from Monica, she said when she lost weight, people started respecting her. Oh, I'm sorry, that actually wasn't Monica.
You're not gonna attack that beautiful white queen.
It wasn't Monica, it was what's her
No,
face.
too much of Monica.
I'm just saying that fat people are actually fatiguing, not maybe low IQ racists. It's actually the fat people who are the most egregious in society.
I mean, Monica is the victim, right? I mean, wouldn't you say that?
Well, everyone is their own worst enemy, and so you become a victim of yourself.
What biker gang was that? Because I didn't see any stripes.
But that was Outlaws.
Outlaws.
Was that video posted by a black person?
I think it was posted by white.
It's just a scrape in a bar, okay? No bad. Shit happens in a bar. Wasn't that bad. And I hope you guys been in a bar, and especially, hey baby, them the old as I am. We done been at bars our age. We seen some shit if you my age. Especially mine. That was like
KP, they jumped him. That was pretty bad. 5, 6 men on one person. Pretty bad.
Yo, you haven't been to a bar then, okay.
Alright, stop writing checks.
3, 4, 3, what?
I said stop writing checks, your ass can't cash.
There you go.
So, he accused, listen, I already heard your rhetoric, so I don't think we can have a conversation, Adams. I heard you talk already, you're not too put together right now. But
and from the
You're back, my little pumpkin. Got a little bored, didn't you? You came right back where you belong. Comedy.
That's not even the English accent. That's like a retard accent.
It's all retarded. Anybody who talks like this, they could just easily speak not like this. You just fucking talk normally. It was very easy. You could try to talk like an American. Can you do an American accent, my little pumpkin?
Yeah, I can do an American accent.
Let me hear you go. Let's have a conversation as if you're an American, please. Let's go. What are you? What are you?
African American.
No, I want a white
I'm
American.
just be asking you a question. I don't know why you trifling.
That's not very good. You're gonna have to work on that, pumpkin. Oh my God, Samo is here. Jean-Michel Basquiat. Same old shit. Jean-Michel. Hey, Jean-Michel. Same old shit, huh? It's just the same old shit. That's what's up, Samo. It's the same old shit.
I'm just so happy that y'all defended me from Harry Bullsack. I felt, and Jen defended me. I was so happy. And made me feel good.
I gotta get going to the hot dog fest.
Oh, by the way, I got my Santor.
Did you?
Yeah, I've been playing it at the church.
Oh, excellent. Are people hypnotized?
Yeah, the old ladies really liked it. I think it was giving them like ASMR or something.
Mm-hmm. That's what it does, yeah.
Yeah, they were like, relaxing, like reclining. I can imagine in ancient Mesopotamia, you'd be like in a big room with loads of pillows, smoking opium and playing it and just stroking each other's hair. That would be awesome.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, that would be cool, right?
Yeah. I actually had a dream that I was a mistress inside an ancient Mesopotamian, Mesopotamian, big stone building, and it was a really good dream, but unfortunately my lifetime was really short because I died at like 23.
Mm-hmm.
But that lifetime that I dreamt of was fucking awesome because I got the most luxurious feasts. And I also had a girlfriend in that lifetime. She was a member of my harem.
Cool.
It's fucking awesome.
That's so cool.
I think that was one of my lives for sure. What do you think about Harry Bullsack?
I think he's a young kid, you know, he's exploring who he is. I don't know. Maybe he's a little immature, yeah.
Okay, adios.
Samo wants to say something. Same old shit?
On Clubhouse, yeah. That's why I had to change my name to Samo. It used to be Lone Wolf, but now it's like, you know what? Since like everywhere I go, it's the same old fuck shit. So I was like, I'm gonna be a great example for Clubhouse. I'm gonna be Samo. I tell people y'all are on the same old shit.
Yeah. It's the same. It's the same old industrial complex.
Yes, bro. And I love art. So my canvas painting is gonna be how some people on Clubhouse do the same old shit, complain about the same old shit every fucking time. I actually leave Clubhouse to come back, and guess what?
Same old shit. Every day,
so
all day long.
I had to be an example, bro. I had to be an example of, well, same old.
It's pathetic, is really what it is.
It is pathetic how people can't change. So, you know what? I'll be the guy to carry the flag and say, y'all need to wake up and stop being on the same fuck shit every fucking day on Clubhouse.
Mm-hmm.
We're talking about the same shit every fucking day. That's ridiculous.
Yeah, it's a waste of your time.
It is. But some people can't wake up, bro. They don't know how to be a philosopher of love. They don't know how to be a philosopher of good energy. You know what I'm saying? They don't know how to be kind. They're always trashing each other.
Yeah.
Always talking shit.
Yeah. I basically think it's I think it's pretty much actually just comedy.
Yeah. What's so common about trashing someone and making someone feel like shit?
It's like a form of fucked up comedy, but I mean, you know, comedy they roast people, so I technically think it's like a roast app.
of things I realized, a lot of people come on here, I guess, to get away. Maybe, I don't know.
No, people are their own worst enemies. They just they're too stupid to know that they've had the same conversation 1,000 times.
In different rooms. I love you, man. I love you. You get it. You get it. They literally have the same conversation in different rooms, and they complain and they bitch and fuss and say, fuck you, you don't know what you're talking about. Like, bro, I was just in another room where you said the same fuck shit.
Yeah, that's.
It's like everywhere you go, it's the same thing. You don't even try to change the conversation. You just care about the same old shit. So I said, you know what? Salone will be same old. Every time people see me, they know I'm gonna call them out for the same old shit.
Same old shit. Okay, listen to this. This is the same old shit.
Right now, like, did you ask him?
Did I go? I would say what's going on.
Wake up. Relax for breakfast.
Yeah, I would say what was likely is that you see the black guy. He has like this big, bright, like reflective vest. Like he probably just got off of work.
Right.
And during you know, I don't. Maybe he drank too much. He was saying like offensive shit. Maybe people were being rude to him. I have no fucking idea. They did call him. Somebody did say beat that fucking N-word. Like like at the end of the video.
As they should have. That porch monkey was checking out.
Are you trying to trigger me? I'm not gonna listen to this fucking cake monkey. You a monkey too. You know I'm fed off in a cake. You know that, right?
It's like grown people talking like children. Oh, someone did that.
I saw it now.
Cake monkey. I never heard that one. But
I saw it.
What do you
Is
think?
that a crusader talking? Well, this is what I would think. In my opinion, the zookeeper came in and cleaned the gate.
Watching your ants in a glass box, bro.
Because A,
yeah.
it's a zoo monkey.
I think life is actually very much like an anthill.
Shit like that.
It is. Everyone's scattered out, going
You
crazy.
will get the fuck out. If you felt threatened, like okay, I'm out.
Yo, Augustus!
It's just say black and white. I'm not gonna sit here and talk shit to a whole biker gang. You gotta be out of your
Hey, how's it
fucking
going?
mind.
Right.
I'm listening to a Pepe room. I'm
I
listening.
always like look at what I'm saying and make it disgusting. I know you.
I'm listening to a Pepe room about this biker gang fight, but I'm actually about to go work out and go to the hot dog fest in my neighborhood.
That's a little see, at least you know how to get off this app and live life for what it is, man.
Sorry, Samo, I have an X stream going. Augustus, I have a room open called Comedy, and Samo is in here. Jean-Michel Basquiat acolyte.
Yes.
What are you doing today?
Just working. Well,
Yeah.
how's your campaign going?
It's going. I don't have as much time. I wish I had like secretaries who I could say, because apparently if the incumbent does an interview with a media outlet, they are legally required to also conduct a similar conversation with me. So, in terms of like doing more press and media, it's difficult to find the willpower to manually do maybe reach outs myself. But I think going the Kennedy route of trying to get onto podcasts to talk about issues, the debt, the Federal Reserve, and term limits. I mean, there's a lot to try to get exposure to, but you got to be your own press agent. It's a lot of work.
Yeah, do you have a website yet?
No.
You gotta get a website up and then put a form on the website for volunteers to come and volunteer for you, and then you got free workers.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I agree.
That's one thing about the Kennedy campaign that was really special, was that they had like 250,000 volunteers, more volunteers for any campaign ever, like in history.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, that's a real political movement.
Yeah, I mean, you don't need 250,000, you need like 25.
Yeah.
That would be a big win.
Yeah, I agree. I agree. Let me send myself some notes.
Yeah, write that down.
Yeah, I was thinking about doing Eventbrites, like in all the towns, uh, that are in the district, and then trying to organize basically Maga Maha Eventbrites, and create, like basically social audio experiences for people in these towns that are disgusted with the crony Rhino Republican Darren LaHood.
I think that's great. Really, I think that's amazing.
Yeah, I mean, there's like the whole media component to running the campaign. So I think the more digital media experiences that I can generate is like a great way to draw attention and yeah. Any other social experience events you can think of, or other marketing tactics or strategies that I should do to get out the vote?
Yeah, you need to have a fundraiser event.
Yeah. Okay.
Yeah, have a fundraiser event. Bring. Your goal should be to have like 50 people show up.
Mm-hmm.
And at the event, you should have like silent auctions going on, and basically like raffles, like even doing like a 50 and 50 or whatever it's called.
Mm-hmm.
What's it called? The 50 and 50.
Yeah.
Where they like buy a raffle ticket and they get 50% of the winnings or whatever, and then the other 50% you put towards your campaign. Just simple fundraising techniques like that will get you some coin to start to actually like build out what you need to be building out for your campaign.
Yeah, that's what Max Rice kept telling me. I've got the bank account, and I'm gonna do like Give, Send, Go, Patreon, and he says silent. What did he say? Yeah, let's raise enough for signatures, because we start gathering signatures in August for the petition for the ballots, and so I want to have some money to actually hire people on the ground in these towns to get on the ballot for the primary in March.
Is Max consulting for you?
Yeah, I mean, we just text. I mean, I'm not paying him or anything. We're just friends, and we, text and, have conversations. But his dad is also running for Congress, so his campaign, he's doing a lot. He has a lot of like public events. Very typical content creation of shaking hands with veterans, and that's what they do. I mean, they have a momentum of content, and it's all spam, but basically it's a way to never talk about any serious issues. Deflect and maintain power. Yeah, there's other things, like I also want to do just like screen recordings of his social media and do analysis of it. But yeah, I mean, I think focusing on volunteers and fundraising is like the primary concern. If I can't start actually networking and organizing people, the campaign doesn't stand a chance, because then it's not like an actual real movement.
Yeah, you got a good idea of what to do. Just get to it.
Yeah. How did that Matt Gaetz interview go?
Thanks for asking. It went well. We talked about Epstein. We talked about politics, what to do for like people like yourself that are running right now up against like rhinos. Because I had my brother-in-law on stage as well, who's running up against rhinos right now for state assembly in New Jersey.
And so now,
So I gave him some good advice. That was pretty cool. He spoke kind of to the general public about, about running and stuff. Encourage people to run for office. And then we started to talk about the UFO phenomenon, because when he was a congressman, he was one of the top congressmen that were investigating the UFO phenomenon, on a government level. So that was cool.
What do you think about all these chemtrails? Because I see chemtrails, every day of the week, and I'm just wondering, Kennedy or Trump, or they're going to do anything to stop this. I mean, that CIA director Brennan's, there's that speech he gave where he says it's his most exciting, technology to combat climate change and shit like that. So, and I've seen the videos of what the actual technology looks like when they do the essentially spraying, and it's just damn, they're doing it in every major city. How much is the fucking government spending on this? This is a Doge type of, transparency audit that we need to see. It's oh, we're spending $50 billion a year to spray major cities with chemicals. What in the fuck are we doing? It's the same thing as the vaccine, but up in the sky. It's fucking crazy. There's no transparency. It's right there in front of our faces, and it's oh, you're a conspiracy theorist. It's no, I'm not, dummy. It's here's a video of showing actually what that plane looks like up in the sky, and why is it doing this? Why are we spending our taxpayer dollars to do this? It's a climate change hoax.
Yeah, bro. I'm pretty sure he's trying to stop the chemtrails, but bro, to be honest with you, the bureaucracy behind a lot of these things is just so fucking enormous. It's enough to make Elon Musk go what the fuck, I give up. He just left Doge. And basically being I can't really fucking help you. This is terminal cancer,
Yeah. It's really fucking bad. With the Matt Gaetz interview, I just have a quick question.
Yeah, it's hard to hear you.
Is it hearing?
Is it much better now?
Yeah.
With the Matt Gaetz interview, did he talk about the drones at all?
I don't think so.
Alright. What do you think those drones were?
I have no idea, bro. Sometimes I think that they were UFOs, and then sometimes I think that they were just man-made and sent there to run a psyop on people.
I agree. Partially, I'm starting to think that it's all tests to see how we would react to there actually being drones, or maybe they're gonna do a false flag and
see how would people react to things in our airspace that we don't know what it is, you know?
Mm-hmm. Yeah, you gotta remember it was like under the Biden regime, who basically was like they're trying to create panic in the public for them to take your rights away. You know, like that's what they did with the COVID era. That's just what they do. So
yeah, that's what they did during the Patriot Act.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. So I wouldn't be surprised if it was like just a stunt being pulled to try to put fear into people in order to take your rights away.
I agree.
Did you see?
That's a good question, though.
Did you see the article that said that Elon Musk's black eye was not from his son, Little X, but it was from Scott Bassett or whatever, the head of the Treasury? So, I mean, Elon just burns himself out. Like he is Adrian Dittman on X, and last night he was live for a couple hours, and I don't know. You can really get to know somebody's personality when you listen to them on X, and you can see how he's maybe not the highest functioning individual in terms of like relaxation and peace and chilling out. Like he's just burning himself up. He had that surgery on his neck, and he's overdoing it. Like there's just too much communication, and you become your own worst enemy. It's like taking care of yourself and protecting your own well-being is essential. And like if you start neglecting that and you start trying to do everything, but he's exposing it. I mean, he set up the groundwork for Doge. I mean, it's not just him, it's a team, and it's in all agencies. He's got Doge AI tracking on every agency. So it's like he's all about automation and taking things at scale. So it's like in 6 months, he has essentially uprooted government fraud, waste, and abuse. Like he has left a platform to essentially, hopefully, expose a lot of the fraud, waste, and abuse.
Yeah, I read something like he was on drugs a lot during the campaign.
Isn't he like a ketamine addict, or is that all just like liberal like propaganda? Would you think?
I don't know what to make of it.
No, he's definitely on ketamine. I mean, on X Spaces, he's hyper-verbal. He stays up all night, plays video games. I mean, it's like, dude, go to the gym, read a book, stop playing video games all night. I mean, it's driving your brain, in a loop. It's like, I'm the number one player in this. It's like, dude, really? It's like, don't you have 16 kids and like a compound and like hundred billion dollars?
That too. Like he's not actually good at video games.
Who cares? It's like a troll to say that I'm the number one. It's ridiculously stupid. It's just spam. But, it's like, if you're worth $800 billion, it's like, I would drop out of society. I would go to every measure to not be connected in a way. I mean, you want to be left alone. You want anonymity. But, anyways, I'm just saying that, he's not out of the administration, but in a way he's doing public relations work by saying, hey, I'm stepping back and now I got a golden key, but I'm not actually involved anymore. It's like PR, it's a PR strategy to alleviate a lot of the pressure on him.
Yeah, definitely. That's a good take on that, honestly.
Low-key though, like I'm kind of mixed about how I feel about Elon Musk. Like I don't think he's like a full-end like conservative. Like he definitely has an agenda to be doing this stuff. Like I'm not putting no chip in my brain. I'm not like he like I like what Steve Bannon says about Elon. He's definitely a globalist,
Yeah.
What's your thoughts, Augustus?
I don't know, man. Like, I don't want to talk shit on the administration or anything like that. So,
you know, he's a good dude. This is like a recorded space and everything, so he's a good dude, man. Like, I don't want any beef with Elon.
Yeah. I'm sorry for doing that, then. Like, my view is, like, I think he's done a lot of good stuff, but I also think that, like, a lot of what he's done is, like, I really don't want anything to do with, you know, putting chips in my head and, you know, merging with AI and stuff like that. Like, I think that's a little bit sus.
Yeah, I can see on how you think that.
I'm not trying to like cancel you or get you like in trouble with, you know.
It's all good.
No, he's always in the news. I mean, it's just what it is. But like, I don't think, you know, his plan is like some big plot. I mean, I think his activity came out of like necessity, but also like the goodness of his heart, because the woke mind virus, all this trans stuff, all the abortion stuff, all the debt, all the media and the content, it's so toxic that in his position, you know, he made a huge risk buying X. And if Trump didn't win, X would have been deplatformed, or he would have had to sell it. Like, he would have been canceled. So the censorship industrial complex, the Democrat industrial complex, the deep state industrial complex, I mean, he subverted it, but it is so powerful that, you know, it's like step out of the way of a moving train. I mean, look out, you know, and so you do have to take care of yourself. I mean, you can't just let yourself be a punching bag your whole life, you know, the rest of your life. It's brutal.
Yeah, there's no way, I'm gonna get a chip in my head or whatever.
Yeah. How do you feel about like automated cars? Like, do you feel safe in like automated cars or not really? Because like a lot of like the data is like coming out and like they get into car accidents like quite a lot.
Yeah, I don't know, I'm more of like a, drive your own kind of car kind of guy.
Yeah.
I don't know, I only ever get in Teslas like through Uber.
Yeah. But if the person was like driving autopilot and just like not driving, I would kind of be sketched out.
Yeah. Yeah, I'd be sketched out too, bro. If you get into an Uber and the Uber is just like driving itself.
Yeah.
Did you see the $6,000 Japanese electric vehicle that a lot of people are buying? I think it looks cool.
Yeah, I did, like those taxis.
I don't think the technology is there yet, though, for like it to be like legal and safe.
I'll give you one thing, Vital. You always ask good questions.
Thanks.
Yeah, no, thank you for always asking me good questions. It's nice.
Yeah, I was on like a space with Rick Doty and I asked him one and he like took a second and he just like wouldn't answer it. Were you on that space or nah?
Nah, I blocked Rick.
Oh shit, yeah. Didn't you have beef with like Rick and what's his name? The guy, his handler, Mr. Dulce?
Yeah, I feel like, I don't know, I just don't trust these people, so I block them.
Yeah. I just join your spaces and I just ask hard questions and I don't know. Is that like dangerous for me to do or not really?
No, not really. I think it's a good thing.
Like, I'm sorry I asked if I could join like it on the Matt Gaetz thing, because I would have probably asked him like kind of some hard questions and I don't know how well that would have went for you.
Yeah. Well, I appreciate the you know,
Well, like
This is my friend John. He's running this space.
yeah.
He's running for Congress. You should give him a follow.
Can you give me a follow?
I'm sure he'll follow you.
Yeah. Augustus, can you follow me?
Yeah, sure.
But yeah. And it's like I kind of like your spaces. Like they're kind of interesting. Like.
I appreciate that.
Augustus has been doing this a long time. I don't know, Vidal, if you know him that well, but on Clubhouse, he was organizing what's called the Preservation of the Human Race, and during the COVID-19 lockdowns and this scamdemic, I mean, you know, he was organizing, you know, significant amounts of listeners on that platform, and he's, you know, I consider him, what he did, he like regime changed the U.S. government through Kennedy. So, you know, he's achieved a significant accomplishment. I mean, in a way, he like saved America, him and his wife.
I was thinking like maybe you could have like all these connections to like politics and stuff. I was thinking maybe you could like have like these spaces and like have more people like ask politicians like actual questions rather than like the left-right narrative. You can bring back transparency to our politics. Like I know that that's kind of a lot to ask because that's kind of difficult to pull off. But like honestly, like it'd be really cool if you could do something like that.
Yeah, I mean, it's a goal of mine, honestly. That's actually a goal of mine, but it's definitely difficult to do, bro. So I'm just taking it one person at a time, taking it a week at a time, and trying my best to keep it, you know, keep it real.
Yeah, that's really cool. And then like when you run for Congress, you can like use like you can like if you build up a big enough campaign and like you fund it and stuff, like you can go on spaces and like you could probably like get really big if like you could show that you're like transparent, John. What district are you running for Congress in?
He's running in the 16th district of Illinois.
Yeah.
Oh, that's cool. I'm not that far from you actually. I'm from Wisconsin.
Oh, cool. Yeah, I know a lot of people in Wisconsin and Illinois, they do, you know, political activity because they're so close. But, yeah, I mean, transparency and, like, that Open Secrets website shows you exactly who contributes to the congressperson's campaign and how much money they have. The guy that I'm running against has, like, $8 million. He's basically, like, a kingmaker now because he has so much money. And so it's very cliquey, these, you know, in politics, and it's a lot of scumbags. So that Open Secrets does show you transparency, you know, and like who you're lobbying for as a congressperson.
Can you send me a link to that? Is it a website?
Yeah, just go to your district. Like, what district are you in Wisconsin? Do you know?
No, I have no idea.
Yeah, first just look up your own district, then look up your local congressperson, Democrat or Republican, and then type in, you know, their name and Open Secrets, and you'll see exactly which corporations have sent them tons of money.
I'm in Wisconsin's 8th district. I'm represented by Tony Weed, a Republican.
Yeah, just type in Tony Weed Open Secrets, it'll take you right to the Open Secrets page, and you can see exactly which corporations are funding his lifestyle.
Yeah.
I would encourage you to even register to run against that person, because it takes 15 minutes to file on fec.gov to run for Congress, and just with the Open Secrets data, you have a fucking hammer to smash these people, because they're voting essentially, you know, for freebies and huge handouts to these corporations. They get 50,000 here, 100,000 there. They get it through a PAC, they get it through the corporation, and then they're voting on a new omnibus bill for $5 trillion, and they're allocated, 600 million. So it's
He got
it's kickback.
500K. He raised 500K. Is that a lot? Is 500K a lot to be raised?
It's a nice chunk of change. You can do a lot with $500,000.
Yeah. The Democrat that he ran against ended up spending $2 million though. So there's that. But yeah. Like I'm in college right now, or like I'm about to go into college. Like should I like get into politics and stuff like that? Like should I like start like volunteering and stuff like that? And like where would I start? Because you said you know a lot of people from Wisconsin and stuff like that. And like currently like I was gonna like volunteer because I wanted to get into like pre-med and like do stuff like that. But like I could also like explore like the political route. Like where would you recommend like I start?
Yeah, I would try to get involved locally, and then just get on social media, and start creating content about your local political situation. Basically be an investigative journalist, a news reporter, and go that route, because that's a form of politics. And by doing that, you'll start building an index, and you'll start doing research on who these people are, and you'll form relationships, and then you can determine who you think is part of clown world and who do you think is a liberator who wants to save America. So just be politically, there's a saying, it's like be political, be social. A lot of people are political, but they're not social, and a lot of those people are on the far left, and they have no fucking idea what they're talking about because they live in a vacuum. And so I don't know, that's what I would suggest.
Yeah. I don't have a journalism degree, and I'm not going to go for journalism like into college because where that typically leads. Like, how would I like find like where to start doing stuff like that? Like, is there like YouTube videos that can like teach me like the format of how I should like conduct myself?
I just be yourself. It's all social media. All these politicians are content creators, and all these bills are automatically generated. So the best place to start is to be a social media content creator, and have create political content. It could be a roast of your local congressman. I mean, it could also be a puff piece of your local congressman. I mean, it's basically you're getting into the spam business. Now I know you want to have like a professional career, but this is like a hobby type of thing. This is communication.
No, like I don't want a professional career. I just want to explore the route and see if it would be something I'm interested in. Like if like maybe I'm interested. Like, you know how like people like job shadow, they like test the waters and see if it like. Because I'm still like trying to figure myself out. Like I'm kind of young.
Mm-hmm.
Like I don't really know myself yet. Like who knows? I could be into politics.
It's a journey. It's a journey. Look, talk to Augustus. Augustus will tell you it's a journey. Like he's an artist who got political. So it's a transformative journey. I'm just saying that, no matter what you do, politics is not going away. It's a political industrial complex here to stay. And the sooner you get involved in it, the sooner you can start transforming it. Your whole future depends on it. You'll be taxed to death. The country's broke. If patriots don't stand up now, I mean, chaos will only continue, and it's just going to become hyperinflation, and eventually the dissolution of America, or, our birthrights taken from us, stolen from us, ripped out from underneath our feet without us even realizing it. And it's already there. I mean, the country's already been sold out, 10 times over. So Trump is the response to that carpet pull, and I thought for sure Kamala and Waltz were going to win by deception and voting manipulation, but the majority of America was finally shook into its core and said, okay, we have to go with Trump, otherwise, you might as well just sink the ship.
I'm not trying to like sink your ship or anything, but I don't really like either of the political candidates. Like I don't like Trump or Kamala. Like I think there's good things Trump has done. Like I'm not gonna disagree with that, but like I still don't like think that he's like the guy. Like start if I'm like an independent rather than a Democrat or a liberal? Because like, or not a liberal or a conservative, a Democrat or a conservative. Like, where would I start? Because like, do you think independent like thinkers like could have a voice in this stuff or not really?
Yeah, a lot of people who voted for Trump are independents. They're libertarians, and Kennedy brought Augustus and Kennedy camp brought a huge voting bloc. That was a big merger. That's really what put Trump over the edge, because Kennedy was extremely well organized nationally, and so he brought millions and millions of voters, and probably swayed that margin. And so, if you're independent, the place is to start with yourself, not with Trump, not with Kamala, not with anybody else but yourself. I mean, you know, again, this is like a self-actualization sense where once you get political, it's like an awakening, you know, and it creates synergies or synchronicities. And so the sooner you start communicating and being social and being political, the sooner you'll start learning more about who you are. And, you know, it's all about creating, you know, the environment that you would prefer to have, as opposed to having the environment tell you who you are, you know. It's an experiment. You're conducting an experiment in a way when you get political and you get social.
Can I like shit on both sides? Because I know Fox News is like completely right wing and like the CNN's like left wing. Like I think it would be a better idea to just expose corruption where corruption is, rather than like toe one side's like party line, you know.
Yeah, but 10 years from now, you may choose to become a Democrat. I mean, you can flip flop. It's a game. It's a communication game. That's really what it is. And Fox News, CNN, it's all spam. So, you know, you're competing with a huge mind control psyop.
Yeah. Augustus just left. I'm sorry if I scared him off.
No, it's Sunday, man. People got shit to do and real lives to live outside of social audio chat.
Yeah, that's cool though. Like, the thing is like the Democrats and the Republicans like are constantly changing. Like it went from like what like the conservatives are now the like liberals like policy wise like from like the 1960s, like the anti-war party. And like I could be wrong on that. Like it could be like earlier or later. I don't remember the exact year, but you know, like their policies are always changing, which is really confusing. Like I've always been kind of confused by politics.
Yeah, it's supposed to confuse you. That's why people get into power, is because they just distract and spam and deflect, and nobody challenges power, nobody questions authority, and nobody thinks for themselves. So you have to essentially know that the more you think, the more you speak, the further from the truth you're going to get. And that's what they do to you. So just know that you as yourself are, if you take personal responsibility, you know, you're the center of your own universe. But until you have that perspective, you may be wasting your time. That's why I say it's like an experiment. You have to essentially plunge yourself into it and see what happens. It's an amazing alchemical experience. You know, people, if you sign up to run for Congress, you know, in your district, you will be, people will start reaching out to you because now you're political, and you know, chances are you're not going to win, but nonetheless, you are changing the network by integrating yourself into it. So it's one way to look at change, which is primarily communication.
Yeah, that's cool. That's cool to think about. Yeah. I just hope that like I don't even know like things are just like really weird like politically like I don't know, because you have like neocons, you have like, you know, conservatives, stuff like that, and it's like it's kind of hard. Like I don't think that it's now like a left or right thing. Like I think that it's all embedded like within the system. Like there is like a deep state, and it doesn't matter whose party they are. Like there's corruption on both sides. So it's like
I'd much rather like expose like the shitheads for being the shitheads that they are. You know?
Yeah. Just expose the shit in each party. And the Republicans have a lot of shit. Democrats have way more shit. But you know, running as a Republican, you have no idea how much infighting there is and how much internal politics there is. And it's fucking, it's so cringe because you have leadership shitting on real patriotic people to maintain their power and control. And they are the biggest losers in you know, they're Republican heroes, real world zeros. And it's literally like becoming a knight. You're like fighting dragons. And that's, you know, I was, you know, raised or trained to be like a fighter. So, you know, it's a manly thing to do to get into political combat because you will see the zombies, you'll see the vampires, you'll see the clowns, and you're just like, damn, because there's a lot of really great people out there, but then when you see the leadership, you're like, oh my God, like, you know, the leadership in the political apparatus is terrible. It's like, it's really bad people.
That's what I've realized. Just from an outsider point of view, you know.
It's very, very. It's just crazy. Like, we go to work every single day and we have the worst political leadership imaginable. It's like, if you don't stand up and fight, these people, like, it's just a horrible realization to know that you were living in clown world for so long, but didn't take action against it. And chances are you won't really actually be able to stop it. But if people don't keep trying to stop it, I mean, it's just not worth the game anymore. You know, so it's like, get involved. That's what I could only encourage you to do. Is just, no matter what you're gonna do with your life, be political, be social.
Yeah, that's fair. I mean, obviously, like, if I have, like, a huge company, I know, like, it pisses me off when, like, the company chooses a political side, though. Like, I would honestly just want to have, like, the best product possible. Like, I wouldn't have all this Pride Month bullshit or, you know, like, the conservatives do it as well. Like, not with Pride Month, but with, like, other like, ways of doing it. Like, I just think that, like, playing politics in business is weird, in my opinion. How do you feel about stuff like that?
It's just one big communication game. Yeah. I mean, I have other rooms open on Clown House. My friend is here in the campaign to elect John Kitover. But I'm gonna wrap this room down in like 4 minutes.
Oh, I'm sorry.
Zach, what up? This is Vidal here. Vidal, this is my friend Zach. Nature boy.
What's up?
How's it going, Zach?
How's it going?
I'm chilling. Sunday afternoon. I just went and like bought a burger. Just chilling, smoking a cigar.
Nice.
What about you, man? What are you up to?
I am sick with a cold.
Oh,
Sick with a cold.
shit. You don't got COVID, do you?
Resting.
Oh, yeah. Rest up. You don't got COVID, though, do you?
No COVID. I thought it was allergies. It might just be very extreme allergies because I do always have allergies this time of year, but this is a very extreme case, and it feels like a cold. I sound sick, right? I mean, my voice is all fucked up here.
I'm allergic to everything, so I'm always sick. And like when I like have allergies and I'm trying to sleep, I like choke, like I get like sleep apnea from it. It's so bad.
Yeah, sleep apnea sucks. It's scary when you hear somebody stop breathing for like 60 seconds and then they go. You're like, holy shit, you almost just died there.
Oh, yeah. I'm so used to it happening to me too. It happens a lot. Like especially like during the summer, during the winter, it's like I'm chilling. Unless if you turn the heat on the house, like then cause the dry air, like that fucks me up.
So Zach, I was talking to Augustus on here on X, and this is how I met Vidal, and I had some notes about, you know, tactics and strategies that I'm going to implement for my campaign. Do Do you have any, or Vidal, do you have any ideas on how to activate the voter audience that I need?
I just thought of a good campaign slogan. I think that you're right. I was listening to you talk with Vidal, and I think that you're right. You got to get involved. You got to be political. What the hell else are we doing? There's a lot that's worth fighting for. And the political slogan that I just thought of, I don't know if you like this or not, but I think you might consider John Kitover, back to normal. Because I think a lot of people want to go back to normal. I think that a lot of conservatism in general is about holding on to what's normal and not going too fucking crazy with anything. Back to normal. Life is good, fundamentally good. Let's go back to normal. So what do you think of that campaign slogan? John Kitover, back to normal.
Yeah, I mean, it's fine. You know, I feel like we can't be normal, though, because we've had such abnormality. We have to be, like, hyper vigilant in terms of course correcting at this point. I don't think people really, the big thing for me is the fiscal and national deficit crisis. The funded debt is 40 trillion with 100 billion a month in interest payments only going up. The unfunded debt is 205 trillion. So we have an impossible fiscal crisis that without some type of resolution, debt forgiveness. This was a slogan. There's only two types of people: those who forgive debt and those who don't forgive debt. And unfortunately, debt here is perpetual. We are living with bankers and organizations that do not want to forgive the debt. I mean, just think about your local college student loans and that debt forgiveness. There's a lot of people out there that are fucked with their bullshit education. But we are fucked as citizens. You know, they say we each owe over $105,000 to the government to pay the debt, but it's probably much higher than that. It could be 600,000. I mean, if you don't have $1 million now, in 30 years from now, you will basically be impoverished. If you look at the statistics. Anyways, Vidal, what's your? I know you were talking about transparency. What were you going to say, Vidal?
I do a lot of like spaces and like engage with like the community and like hear what people have to say. Like also like when you campaign, like don't just like, because a lot of like politicians, like I feel like a lot of that shit's pre-picked to like make them look good and stuff like that. Like actually like engage in like the people